Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be making this bralette. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and share this video with your friends, and I hope y'all enjoy this tutorial. The materials you'll need is a 3.5mm hook, a yarn needle, measuring tape, and scissors, and one skein of Lion Brand's Basic Stitch or any weight for yarn you want to use. The stitches I'll be using are the double crochet, single crochet, slip stitch, chain, single crochet 3 together, and single crochet 2 together. To find the band measurement, you want to measure around your rib cage, aka under bust, and subtract 6 inches from that measurement. My rib cage measurement is 28, so my band measurement was 22 inches. So first we are going to make a slip knot, and then we're going to grab our 3.5mm hook and insert it within that loop. And then we're just going to start making a chain. We want to make sure that this chain is long enough to reach your band measurement, and make sure that this chain is an even number. Now that our chain is long enough, we're going to start row 1. So in the second chain from our hook, we want to place 1 single crochet, and then for the remainder of the row, we just want to continue placing 1 single crochet into every stitch. Now that row 1 is complete, we want to chain up 1 and turn our work. And then we want to place 1 double crochet into our first stitch where we chained up 1 from. And then we want to chain 1, skip the next stitch, and then we want to place a double crochet into the next stitch. And then after that, we want to chain 1 again, skip the next space, do a double crochet to the next, chain 1, and just repeat that step for the entire row, and it should make like a window effect for this row. Now that your second row is complete, we want to place 1 single crochet in every stitch for the entire third row. There's no need to chain up 1 since we are doing single crochets. Now that our single crochet row is done, we want to chain up 1 and turn our work. And now we want to place 1 single crochet into the first stitch, and then single crochet 3 together, including the stitch that we just placed that 1 single crochet. And then we will want to chain 1, single crochet 3 together again, using the same stitch we just went into for the next 2 stitches. And repeat this for the entire row. This is also called the Trinity stitch, and if you want a more in-depth tutorial on how to complete the Trinity stitch, I will link a video down below, which is how I learned how to do it. But yeah, you also want to make 3 Trinity stitch rows. So your rows 4 through 6 will be Trinity stitch rows. And right here I'm just showing that once you get to the end of the row, make sure rather than chaining 1 after you single crochet 3 together, you just want to place another single crochet into the last stitch. And keep in mind that for the Trinity stitch rows, we do chain 1 when we turn our work, even though it's a single crochet, but we do not do that for regular single crochet rows. Now that our Trinity stitch rows are complete, we want to turn our work and then place 1 single crochet into our first stitch. And then we want to single crochet 2 together to make a decrease. And then for the rest of the row, we're just going to place 1 single crochet in every stitch. Now we have reached row 8, and we want to turn our work and place 1 single crochet in our first stitch. And then we want to chain 3 stitches. And then skip the next 2. And go in the third stitch with a double crochet, and then chain 1, and then place another double crochet into that exact same stitch. And then we want to chain 3 again, and then we want to skip 2 again, and then go into that stitch with a single crochet. So I'll show you one more time. We're just going to chain 3, skip 2 stitches, go in the third stitch with a double crochet, and then we want to chain 1, go into that same stitch with a double crochet, then we want to chain 3 again, skip 2 spaces again, and then in that third stitch we want to make a single crochet. So you'll just repeat these to make these little shell looking things for the entire row. So now that we finished this row, we want to turn our work, and now we're just going to slip stitch up until we reach that V from the previous row that we made with the double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in the same stitch. So it should be 4 slip stitches that you'll have to do. Then you want to make a chain of 5 stitches, and then you will want to place a single crochet into that V space, and then after that we want to make a chain of 7, and then again we want to make a single crochet into that V space one more time, and now we're going to chain up 5 again, and then place our last single crochet into that same V space again. And now we're going to chain 4 and then go into the next V. So we're going to skip all of that space and go into the next V space with a single crochet. And then we're going to chain up 5, place a single crochet into that V space, chain up 7, make another single crochet into that V space, chain up 5 again, place another single crochet into that V space, and then you just want to repeat that with a chain 4 in between each petal looking thing for the entire row. Make sure you are only going in between those V spaces. So once we finished going into our last V space, we still need to slip stitch 4 down like we did at the beginning of the row. And then after this, our band is complete, so you can just chain up 1 and tie off our work. Next, we will be working on our cups, and you can refer to this chart that I made if you do need any idea of what measurements to do. So you want to start off with a chain of 12 stitches. And for your first row, you want to place 1 single crochet in each stitch for the entire row. Once you reach the end of the row, rather than chaining up 1 and turning your work, you just want to place 2 more single crochets into that last stitch, and then we're just going to work around it. So after you complete that curve, you want to continue placing 1 single crochet into every stitch until you reach the what used to be the beginning of your row. So once that row is complete, we want to turn our work, and then we will just start placing 1 single crochet into every stitch until we reach that top peak that we made by doing those 3 single crochets into that 1 stitch from the previous row. So now we are at that peak, and we want to place 3 single crochets into the middle top of the cup. And then we will want to continue to place 1 single crochet into the rest of the row like we did before. And I like to also single crochet over this yarn so I don't have to weave it in later. So basically you just want to repeat what we did for the last 2 rows until your cup has reached your desired measurement. So basically you will just place single crochets into every stitch, and at the peaks make sure you place 3 single crochets, and yeah. So my finished cup measured about 5 inches, which is perfect for a cup. And you want to make sure that you make 2 of those, and we will now start the construction process. So you will need to grab your yarn needle and your cups and your band, and you want to make sure that you are sewing the cups onto the middle of the band. So I like to count the spaces like so on both sides at the same time, so it's faster to find the middle part. So that's where the center of my band is. So I will just sew along right here with my cups. So here's what one looks like sewn on, And then I'm in the process of sewing this last cup on as well. And I just weave in and out with my yarn needle until I reach the end of the cup. And if you were curious, this is just how I tie off whenever I sew with my yarn needle. So I like to make little knots with it just to secure it, and so it doesn't come out as easy. And then I also like weave it into other stitches, make knots around the area too, so it's not just in one area, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's what I usually do to secure it. So now we're just going to turn it to the right side, and then we want to make a slip knot and attach the yarn to the right cup. Yeah. And then we want to start single crocheting around the cups. Once you reach the end of the first cup, I do have a space in between my two cups, so I will just place one single crochet in that space, and then I will just continue just single crocheting around my second cup, and then after that I'll be done. But I'm messing up right here. But just listen to what I said and you can see the sped up visual too. And once you finish single crocheting around your second cup, you just want to again chain up one and tie off. And now we are going to start on the straps and the back lace. So you want to make a chain of 200, but do not tie off. You want to go ahead and insert it into the top middle part of one of your cups. So just remove your hook and then pull it through by the other end. And then I like to even it out first, and then I will insert my hook back into my chain, and then I will slip stitch it to the other end. And now we're going to make the petals like we did for the band. So we're going to chain up 5 stitches first, and then we're going to single crochet into that middle stitch, and then we're going to chain up 7, and then place a single crochet into that same middle stitch, and then we are going to chain up 5, and then place our last single crochet into that same middle stitch. So now we have the similar petals to the band that we made, and then after that you just want to again chain up 1 and tie off. And now for the back lace, you just want to make a chain of 350 stitches, and you can tie this one off. So then we're just going to lace this up similar to a shoelace with our crochet hook. So I just like to go in from the top left corner with one side, and then I go in with my hook on the top right corner with the other end of the chain. And then I like to grab the end again and go into the opposite side, and I like to go into that middle Trinity stitch row. So I'm just going to pull the left sides into the right side Trinity stitch row, and then we're going to do the opposite for the right side strap, and we're going to put that into the middle Trinity stitch row on the left side. And then finally we want to again go to the opposite side, and then I just go into that little loop, well, the space above the loop that we made for the petals, if that makes sense. And then we do the same thing on the opposite side as well. So just go into the stitch that's above the little petals that we did. And then for the ends of the string, I just like to make little knots, and then I'll cut off the excess yarn. And now you finish making this beautiful bralette. It is perfect for the spring and summer seasons, and I love the little detailing on the bands. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Make sure you tag me in your own creations. Like, comment, and subscribe, and have a nice day. Peace.